What if I told you that your greatest achievements aren't built on massive, life-altering decisions, but on the tiny, almost invisible actions you repeat every single day? Imagine a young athlete waking up in a hospital after a devastating accident that shatters his body. Yet just a few years later, he becomes an academic All-American. How? Not through one miracle moment, but through small, consistent 1% daily improvements. This, my friends, is the incredible power of atomic habits. Tiny changes that compound over time into truly extraordinary results. We have a tendency to overestimate the importance of defining moments and drastically underestimate the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Think about it. If you get just 1% better each day for 1 year, you'll end up 37 times better by the time you're done. But if you get 1% worse, you'll decline nearly down to 0. Let's look at a real-world example. For nearly a century, British cycling was the definition of mediocre. They were so bad that one top bike manufacturer refused to sell them bikes, fearing it would hurt their brand. Then, in 2003, they hired Dave Brailsford. His strategy: the aggregation of marginal gains. He believed if you could improve every tiny thing by just 1%, those gains would add up to a remarkable increase in performance. They improved everything: nutrition, training, even the ergonomics of the bike seats. They painted the inside of the team truck white to spot dust particles that could affect bike performance. The result? Within a decade, British cycling dominated the sport, winning multiple Tour de France titles and a staggering number of Olympic gold medals. The takeaway here is profound. Stop obsessing over goals. Instead, focus on building systems that guarantee that 1% daily growth. Now, let's talk about the most powerful way to make these changes stick. It's not about what you want to achieve, but who you want to become. This is the core of identity-based habits. Every single action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to be. Let me give you an example. A woman who successfully lost over 100 pounds didn't do it by focusing on the number on the scale. Instead, she asked herself one simple question before every decision. What would a healthy person do? This identity shift guided every choice: salad or burrito, a walk or a cab. Slowly but surely, each small vote for her new identity transformed her until she naturally became that healthy person. The process is simple. Decide the person you want to be, then prove it to yourself with one small, concrete action today. So, how do we actually build these habits? All habits, good or bad, follow a 4-step loop: cue, craving, response, and reward. To build good habits, we need to master the 4 laws of behavior change. The first law is, make it obvious. The truth is, many of our daily habits are unconscious. We're often blind to our own patterns. The first step is to become aware. Use a habits scorecard to simply write down your daily actions and see what's really happening. Then, be specific with your intentions. Don't just say, I'll read more. Say, I will read for 15 minutes at 10 p.m. in my living room. You can also use a technique called habit stacking, where you link a new habit to an existing one. After I finish my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. And perhaps most powerfully, design your environment for success. One hospital dramatically increased water sales simply by placing water bottles next to the soda at every cash register. The inverse is also true. To break a bad habit, make it invisible. During the Vietnam War, a surprising number of American soldiers became addicted to heroin, but upon returning home, the vast majority quit almost overnight. Why? The environmental cues that triggered the habit were gone. The second law is, make it attractive. The brain chemical dopamine is released not when you receive a reward, but in anticipation of it. This is key. We can hack this by using temptation bundling. You link an action you want to do with an action you need to do. For example, I can only watch my favorite Netflix show while I'm on the treadmill. Another powerful tool is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. If all your friends are active and eat healthy, you're far more likely to do the same. And finally, reframe your mindset. Change, I have to work out, to I get to build my strength and energy. The third law is, make it easy. We often get stuck in planning mode, but habits are formed through repetition, not perfection. A photography professor once divided his class into two groups. One group was graded on the quantity of photos they took. The other was graded on producing one single, perfect photo. At the end of the semester, which group produced the best images? The quantity group. They were busy practicing and learning from their mistakes, while the perfection group was stuck theorizing. The solution? The 2-minute rule. Scale any new habit down so it takes less than 2 minutes to do. Run a marathon becomes put on my running shoes. Read a book a week becomes read 1 page. Reduce the friction. Spend 2 minutes now to prepare your environment for tomorrow. Lay out your workout clothes tonight. And for the tough habits, use a commitment device. The famous author Victor Hugo, facing a tight deadline for The Hunchback of Notre Dame, had his assistant lock away all his clothes except a large shawl, making it impossible for him to leave his study until the book was finished. He beat his deadline by 6 months. And the fourth law is, make it satisfying. The cardinal rule of behavior change is this: what is immediately rewarded is repeated. Our brains are wired for instant gratification, so give yourself immediate reinforcement. When health workers in Pakistan wanted to encourage hand washing, they introduced a premium soap that smelled great and foamed nicely. The immediate sensory satisfaction made the habit stick. Another great tool is habit tracking. Visual progress is incredibly motivating. Use a calendar and put an X on every day you complete your habit. The goal is to never break the chain. And if you do slip up, the rule is never miss twice. 1 mistake is an accident. 2 is the start of a new negative habit. Get back on track immediately. An accountability partner can also be a game changer, making the cost of skipping your habit public and a little bit painful. Now for some advanced tactics. First, find the game you're meant to play. Your genes don't eliminate the need for hard work, they clarify it. Michael Phelps's body, with his long torso and huge wingspan, is literally built for swimming. Find the areas where your natural abilities give you an edge, or combine your unique skills to create a new niche where you can excel. Next, embrace the Goldilocks rule. Peak motivation occurs when a task is manageable, but just on the edge of your current abilities, about 4% beyond what you can do. It needs to be hard enough to stretch you, but easy enough to still achieve. The legendary comedian Steve Martin used this principle for 18 years, expanding his stand-up act by just a minute or two each season. It was just enough to keep it fresh and engaging, but not enough to overwhelm him or the audience. Remember, it's often boredom, not failure, that kills progress. Professionals stick to the schedule even when they're not in the mood. Amateurs let their motivation dictate their actions. Finally, you must avoid complacency. The biggest benefit of habits, that they run on autopilot, can also be their greatest danger. Once a habit is automatic, we stop paying attention and stop looking for ways to improve. The solution? Conduct regular reviews. The legendary basketball coach Pat Riley implemented a career best effort program, which forced his champion players to find 1% improvements in their game even after they had mastered the fundamentals. So let's recap the final lessons. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. Compounding is real. Your habits are the votes you cast for who you want to become, so focus on identity over outcomes. Master the 4 laws. Make your good habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Remember that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And finally, learn to embrace the boredom, because greatness requires showing up even when the motivation fades. The secret to your future isn't some heroic, dramatic moment. It's found in the small, silent choices you make every single day. Stack those 1% improvements. Build the systems. Become the person you want to be, one tiny atomic habit at a time. Your future self is being built right now. What vote are you casting today? Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content to help you build a better life. See you in the next one.